Hey YouTube, this is Walter back with another video. It's been a while since I last posted on here. Been a few months. I've been really busy with school. I'm currently a PhD public policy student at UMass Boston. And once the semester started, it got real hectic. Things really been taking off as far as assignments and papers and conferences and meetings and all that type of stuff. So it's been a while since I've been up here, but I'm glad to be back now. I just wanted to make a quick video on maintaining motivation and remembering the why to why you do things and why you experience what you experienced. So the first thing I want to say is acknowledge your life. Don't think that your life was in vain. Don't think that your life was a mistake. Every experience that you've ever had in your life will lead you to things that you want to do. It makes you who you are. A lot of times, we feel as though that, you got to come from a certain background in order to be successful, or you have to have a certain amount of money to be successful. And I'm here to tell you that's just simply not true. Whatever it is that you want to do with your life, you can do. And I always tell people to use your life experience as the motivation to push you forward. Um, Prior to me starting this doctoral program up here in Massachusetts, I was, uh, you know, lived in Philadelphia my whole life. And I ended up getting into the social work field and social services. So I did basically every aspect of social work that you could think of. And one of the common themes that I seen from a lot of clients that I had on my caseload was, a feeling of like being defeated, a feeling of feeling like they didn't measure up, feeling like, they didn't have what it takes to be successful. And I just want you to know that that's not true, no matter what your background was. A lot of my clients, they didn't come from a two-family background. They may have been in an abusive relationship. They may not have had no father in the house or nothing like that. And it's like, those things don't have to define you. It is true that, most of your childhood kind of can determine the way that you are as an adult. But I just want you guys to remember that at the end of the day, you determine your own destiny. And nothing in life is permanent. Nothing at all. Never feel like, you can't rebound. Never feel like a circumstance that you're in is the end of the world. Yeah, we all get frustrated. We all get annoyed with things that go on and when things don't go our way. But never let it, take over your whole life or feel like, it's over, because that's not true. Nothing's permanent at all. I think back to various periods in my life, even when I was back in my 20s, when, the job market wasn't good. When you first graduate college and stuff like that, at least when I did back in 2009, it was in the middle of a recession. There was no jobs. I was out of work for like 2 years straight, trying to figure out what I was going to do, applying to different places. You get all the rejection letters and stuff like that. For those of you of a certain age, you'll remember that period of time, that 2007 to 2010 time period, where nobody was getting jobs. You heard on the news about people applying to hundreds of jobs, not getting no interview, or you get an interview and then you don't get the job and all that kind of stuff like that. But you know as they say, this too shall pass, and that too has passed for me, and it'll pass for you too. No matter what situation you may find yourself in, if you're recently been divorced, if you had a job layoff, if you got fired from a job, if you're unemployed, you know, whatever the situation may be, always know that you can always rebound from every situation. And don't take every situation that you perceive as a failure to be that, because it very well could be a blessing in disguise. A lot of times, a lot of us, we don't like hearing the word no. We like to always, get yeses to everything that we want to do. But sometimes, hearing no can be a good thing. It could be a way to make you reevaluate your life, make you reevaluate your circumstances, make you reevaluate, you know, your true motives for why it is that you're doing what you want to do. And more importantly, it'll force you to look at alternatives to those things. So if you had one career choice in mind and you didn't get that, maybe you can pivot off into something different, or maybe you can go about it in a different way. And so one of the tips that I would suggest to anybody that's going out there and you're going through interview processes, or you're thinking about what you want to do with your life or what direction that you want to take, is try to find something that mirrors what your life has been so far. A lot of times those are the jobs that's the easiest to get. If you can relate that position that you're trying to do to your own life and your own life experience, sometimes that will trump, a job's quote unquote qualifications. So just don't be discouraged. Keep going. Keep your head up. You have a value that you want to offer to the world. Everybody can benefit from you. It's not like, oh, because a lot of times, like when you look at these applications, you'll see situations where it's like, you got to have 5 years of experience for this or 10 years of experience for that. That's not necessarily true. Those things are usually guidelines. A lot of times, your life experience, your lived experience can definitely help you out with that aspect. The other thing I want to talk about is um, having a good support network. It's very important that you surround yourself with people that are for you, with people that know what your goals and ambitions are, and with people that can keep you motivated when times get tough. We all got people in our lives sometimes that may not be helpful in that aspect. They might be like, oh yeah, well, you had all these failures over here where you didn't succeed with this or that, and you feel like that, you can't rebound from that. You kind of feel like that kind of defines you. And that's not the case. Anything can change for anybody at any time. Stay focused, keep your head up, get all of the qualifications that you need to do whatever it is that you want to do. That may require you to go get a trade, that may require you to get certifications, depending on what it is that you want to pursue. That may require you to get a degree or a second degree in something. And I would say that if you do those things, things will start to look up for you. Also, if you're able to volunteer somewhere doing something, that's another good way to get involved in something, to get to where you want to get. You have to do whatever you got to do to get where you want to get. And also, don't be afraid of networking. You never know who's who, which brings me to my next point. A lot of us take Ubers and Lyfts now everywhere we want to go. I would say talk to your drivers. I mean, I'm a fellow Uber driver myself. I drive for Uber and Lyft. Been doing so for the past 7 years. I drove everywhere from down in Philadelphia, where I'm originally from, even up here in Boston. And one of the things I would say is that, you never know who can give you an opportunity. Most of the drivers out there that does Uber and Lyft and stuff like that, they're not just Uber drivers. They have actual careers. A lot of people use it as a source of secondary income. And so if you're looking for a job or you need extra money, that would be something that you could look into. You don't necessarily have to have your own car. You can rent a car from them if you want to, for as long or as short as you want. And that might be a way to do it. But, the point of me telling you this is to say, don't put your fate in the hands of somebody else. Sometimes you have to take charge of your fate. And if you know that, the job market right now isn't that good or whatever, or you're about to get evicted or whatever like that, do whatever it takes to get yourself out of that situation. And a lot of times that might require you to rely on yourself. One thing that we've seen in the world, at least I would say over the past 10 years, is that the traditional way that we were raised, people that was born like in the late 80s and 90s, go to school, do all this stuff, that doesn't always work. And we've seen that a lot now. You have a lot of people doing a lot of different gigs, a lot of different side hustles. A lot of people are out here creating their own businesses. And so I would kind of challenge you to do the same thing. If there's something that you're good at, that you think you can make some money with, definitely look into it. Definitely look into it. Everybody got a skill that they could do. For me, it's driving on the side, something as simple as that. If you're a handyman, you might be able to go on TaskRabbit or something like that, get some business, make some money through the app, give them, they'll have your contact information, let them call you directly, build up a clientele, whatever it may be, cooking, teaching dance lessons, whatever. It could be anything. Everybody has a gift. So I'm going to wrap this up. I didn't want this video to be too long, but I just wanted you to be motivated and remember that you always have something that you can offer, and don't rely on other people to give you the opportunities that you want. Sometimes you can market yourself and put yourself out there, and it can really lead to a successful outcome for yourself. Stay up, you guys. Don't get discouraged. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.